when we look at studies across the world, and there is one particular study that I love, which I'll share with you, that it was a study over a 12-year period. And what they did is they were looking at boards that were led by men and were predominantly men. And they were also looking at boards that were led by women and had diversity on them. And over that 12-year period, they discovered that the boards that were diverse were outperforming their peers. Why? Because there was diversity of thought. Why? Because they were connecting with their stakeholders. Why? Because the purchasing decisions, and Lavan, we're not talking about where the money is coming from. The purchasing decisions are being made by the women. So I'm the one who knows how that product should look like so that it appeals to me. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So that's really why this conversation is important. It's not about the women. It's not about me, Catherine. It's about our economy. You know, if we want to grow our economy, we must listen to the diverse voices.
What's interesting, and what you mentioned actually, picked words out of my mouth, is where do we find the women?
And you know what? It's just about opening your eyes. Let's start from your own household.
So you're looking at management or staff, maybe?
You're looking at let's start with staff. Okay, because we grow the pipeline from the ground upwards. So let's start with staff. Even in your own house, there are those girls that you have taken to school. Where do you want those girls to do if you don't want to put them in senior management, okay? So you place them into senior management and then they grow into the role, okay? So where do we find the profiles of people who can actually sit on boards? Places like the Women on Boards Network, which we set up in 2014. We have a whole database of women who are capable of sitting on the boards. We have a whole database of women who are capable of serving on boards and delivering value. Not only do we put together their profiles, but we actually prepare them for those boards. Right now, we are working with a group in Malaysia called Lead Women, and we are also working with Columbia Global Centers, you know, part of Columbia University. And we have put together a program that basically prepares women for global boards. So if we in Kenya are preparing our women to sit on global boards, surely they can sit on Kenyan boards. And look at some of the, if you look at companies like BAT, chaired by a woman. I think about 50% of the board members are women. And very many other companies, Equity Bank has women, KCB, Barclays, Absa, sorry, have women on their boards. And they are performing very, very well.
Any durable, tangible benefits you've seen, especially for Kenyan companies, for having the women on boards? Because I know those are outliers. We still have a very male-dominated board, if I would say, for a lot of Kenyan companies.
The beauty is that the narrative is changing. In 2017, I believe, when the Kenya Institute of Management did a study, they found that board positions were held by about 17%. 17% of the boards were populated by women. They did a similar study last year, jointly with KEPSA, and guess what? It was found that 26% of the boards in Kenya, board positions in Kenya, are held by women. So things are changing, things are happening.